Replacing your classic Camaro's door handle. Today we're gonna get into removing, replacing, and showing how to get to the handle, remove it without having to remove your window. It's a task. Let's get to it. What's going on, guys? Matt here with Lethal Garage, and today we are back with the Lethal Classic. This is my 1971 Camaro restoration project. It's been drawn out a little bit. Life has kind of gotten in the way, and I'm sure a lot of you have had the same problem, but today we are taking steps to fix that. Now, you can see my interior is not quite there, and we are working on getting interior door panel on, but before we could do that, I need to replace my door handles. And you'll see I actually already have the new door handle on here. The problem is when I installed it, the rubber plastic gasket that goes underneath it popped off and it's on wrong, and I have to show you how to replace it again. And so that's what we're gonna do today. So typically you're replacing this beautiful handle, or maybe you bought an OER replacement handle because the handle you have broke. And sorry, this has fingerprints all over it, but this is probably the best cheap door handle you can buy. This is the OER replacement. It comes with everything you need in one purchase: the plastic wrap, the handle, the clip, the bolts, everything. It's a direct replacement, super easy to assemble because it's already assembled. But the hard part, especially if you have a car that's already built, is getting to it to remove it and get it installed. Now in this instance, I don't have an interior installed in the car per se. I do have the door guts already in the door, but I don't have to remove my door paneling. Now, if you had to remove the paneling, it's actually pretty straightforward. There's a couple screws, and if you use a rivet puller or even one of those panel separators, you just have a bunch of push clips that go in these locations, and you just pull them out. I would even recommend replacing them if you go that route, because it's all going to be brand new and you don't have to worry about it being loose or anything like that. But once you remove that door panel, it's as simple as loosening up the mounts on the windows. So one, we're going to have to remove the window stops that are located here and here. So we remove those so we can get the window as high up as possible, so that way I can get my big old gorilla paws, because I can't fit my mitts through here. Now, if you have a kid or a wife who's got small hands, small arms that can fit in here, you are 10 steps ahead of me. Now, in this instance, we'll drop this to allow the window to get down so I can loosen everything up. I'll pull out the stops, and then we'll get the window up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do all that now. I'll do just a fast motion because you don't want to watch 10 minutes or however long it's going to take to do that, and then I'll show you how we get to the door handle. So in this instance, it's a 7/16. You guys will know if you've been working on these, 7/16 half inch basically covers you on every single bolt in this car, unless it's like underbody, like subframe connectors and stuff. But you have right in here, if you can get in here, Kyle. So you have the stop here. It's adjustable. You do have to fully remove it. So mine's a little loose already, so it's going to be easy. What I'll do is I'll put a hand down in here and just loosen it so you don't drop it into the door. With the door panel off, it's not the end of the day if you do drop it, because you can just pull it right out. But here's the stop. Just put the screw with it so I don't lose it. And then the other one is right in here. I don't know if you can get in here, Kyle. It's sitting right there. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. This one's a little bit trickier. I wouldn't even say it's tricky, but you have to really reach in there to hold it in place while you loosen it. And again, mine are loose already because I already have the handle on there, but we're going to be taking it back off. So go ahead and take the bolt out. Oh, come on. Now your door, your stops may be greasier than heck or whatever. If you want to wear rubber gloves or something like that, go ahead, but we haven't greased mine. So those are out, we're good there. Some people, they'll like to loosen your felts up top. So if you're not familiar here, and actually this is a great time to spend a moment to check your felts, make sure they're still good, have them peeled up. But you'll notice there is some movement on these. So, and it just allows you to get the window up a little bit higher. I know when I was initially doing this and I was rolling my window up, maybe I can even show you. The felts are actually in the way of the main support bar that's holding the window. So in this instance, I actually pulled these out and just put a nice towel here so the window wasn't touching on it, so I can get this up just ever so higher to get my hand up underneath. And some people will be like, well, why do you have to go underneath the window? Well, unfortunately, and Kyle, you could show them this, there's a big metal chunk right in here, so my finger's touching it right there, that just comes out that literally prevents you from getting the second bolt. You could probably weasel a tool in there and remove the inner right side one nut, but this nut in here, it's impossible. I've tried using sockets, small ones, big ones, everything. It just did not work for me. So rolling the window up, getting these out of the way, getting your felts and all that stuff moved. And this is where this one comes in handy. So, and some people, you may not have to mess with these at all. You may have someone that has a small enough hand that can get up in there without having to get the window all the way up. Again, I don't necessarily want to say I don't trust my kids, but I don't trust my kids. Is that bad? Is that bad to say? I don't know, comment below. That may be bad. My kids aren't really into cars as much as I would have liked them to be. Maybe they'll come around as they get older. I mean, they're still pretty young, so. But I'm a big fan of not forcing them to, you know, have to like something. But I'm definitely going to teach them how to work on cars or change their tires and all that stuff. That's a requirement. You know who I really like seeing have their kids around and working is Derek at Vice Grip Garage. If you guys haven't seen him, good stuff over there. So got that loose, got this down, so I was able to pull these out. So now you'll see as I roll the window up, I can push on the window just a little bit and see now how this bar comes up just a hair higher. So, and this is gonna be loose. It gets sketchy. So you don't want to be slamming the door around during this portion. But what this has done now is opened up. So now you can see the bolts from, it's probably hard to see with the camera there. Maybe shine up from this. I don't know if you can get up in there. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, the camera's not gonna get it. So the bolts are right down in there, but they're a heck of a lot easier to reach. So I'm actually sitting on a rolly chair, but you're gonna have to get down on the ground. And I'm just using 11. So your factory ones are gonna be 10 millimeter. These are the Anvil Auto replacement handles. So they actually use an 11 millimeter nut. I don't know why he chose a different size, but it is what it is, right? Some people just like to be different. So now,
let's go on Mars.
I can get right on in here and get on these nuts. Get up all over these nuts. If you have your factory handle, you'll be able to pull it out, but what you'll probably end up having to do is hold the handle, roll the window back down, and disconnect the rod to your main locking mechanism. Probably should have done that first. In my instance, I don't have to take the handle all the way out for here, so I'm not necessarily gonna have to do that, but that's really the only mechanism you have to disconnect is that one rod that plugs, it snaps in here. Where is it? So the rod that snaps into this portion. So it's going through there, just use a flathead screwdriver. You can ply it right out, just goes blink. And then when you get your new one, you just pop it right back in. The hardest thing I've ever done installing on these doors was the lock. The little C-clip that goes on the lock to lock it in place. I must have got the world's cheapest ones because those were a nightmare. So now that we got those undone, we're actually gonna roll this down. Now obviously you don't want to roll it up too far when you roll it up. I should have mentioned that because it will fall out of the track, and I guess it's still connected to the track, so it can't necessarily fall off. But with this still loose, you can see how much further down you can get the window. And now you have full access to this rod. You can see the rod right there. So if you need to remove that rod, you can get a flathead screwdriver in there and pop it right off. Again, in my instance, I'm just trying to fix the rubber gasket on the bottom because it didn't wrap around it. So I have to pull this out. Just grab it. There we go. So here was my problem. When I put this plastic thing on, it like didn't wrap, or it came off somehow when I was putting it back on. So I got the door handle out. I now have got the plastic piece on properly. So I mean, it's a simple task of just putting it right back in. And this is where it comes in handy if you have your wife or a buddy or something to come over. It's impossible to tighten it from the inside and watch the alignment on the outside. So having someone be able to watch this side to make sure the handle's not up or down. Obviously, when you're tightening those nuts, it's gonna wanna have a tendency to twist the handle. So having someone that can just grip it, you know, or just hold it in place is definitely beneficial here, but yeah. That's in place. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt it back up and get it tight, and then we'll hook that rod back up. You don't want to really, just in case you have to pull the handle out or whatever, it's a pain in the butt if you did that now. So, and it's a heck of a lot easier when the door handle's tight against the stupid door. So let's go ahead and get the nuts back on and get it all reconnected. Turn all the way, right? 2 more clicks. 1 more. There you go. Bam. Come in here. Okay, so we got our bolts tightened up, we got the door handle straightened, and we got the I don't know what you call it, lever, the rod engaged, and that is locked in position. So you can usually tell in this instance, because if you could push it through, but then you can't push it back out, you know it's locked in place and it's not going to give you troubles down the road. Now we just have to get the door back together. So we'll go ahead and get our felts back in place. Now the nice thing is when we set up our door, I don't know how your guys' car will look, but you can see the marks where we've tightened these down. So I have a pretty good idea of where they need to be lined up. I should probably do a video on getting the windows all aligned and set up. Let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see a video like that on how to get your windows in position. I always find getting that one the tightest is probably the most important, because you get some like over-eager buff guy like in your passenger seat trying to crank your windows down, and if it's not that tight, he can actually force it down again. So we're good there. What am I forgetting? Oh, the window stops. That's important. Yeah, these are a little more important for that. So again, getting these back in position. You just slide them down in place. Again, if yours are greased already, I can already see where mine were at when we adjusted it. I see the marks on there. So, doors back together. Good to go here. But there you have it. 70 to, I believe that is 70 to 81 door handle swap. I'm not entirely certain if they swapped those out or not. They may have, but whatever the years are, 70 to the year they're up to, that's a quick way to swap them out. If you guys have a better way, or a way that's worked for you that might work for a big guy with big hands, I mean, everyone's different sizes, and these door openings in here are not all that large. Like you can see, nice dug in marks on my arm. So, and that was me reaching as far as I can get my arm in there. Yeah, but that's that. Thanks for checking out the video. Till next time, guys. See you on the road.